And welcome back, Firewood addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. Today we're talking about mini bundles. So as you can see, I'm out of bundles. Now I made this little shelf, had this sign made, did the time to make the bundles. And you've seen those episodes before. If not, I'll link them. You'll see them up above. And they're a slow seller. I mean, I have some hits on them. But one of my good Firewood customers went on a camping trip. Also a viewer. And he wanted a bunch of bundles. He told me, and he gave me time in advance to get prepared. I said, okay. And then I forgot. So that rule number one in Firewood sales, don't forget. Write it down, put it in your calendar, whatever. Make sure that people are recognized and that you're going to get their order prepared, delivered, whatever else type thing. So I scrambled. I had some mini bundle wood already cut and split. So I scrambled and I made him. I had all that I had out there. I had him to pick up. I had 8 bundles out there, 8, and he bought all of them, no problem. But now I have 0. So I'm just gonna bide my time, not make any yet. But then I got a ping on my marketplace ad for bundles, and he's like, well, for what do you want? What he said? He said, well, for $5 a pop, how about we do 4? Like, it was like a lot of money. It is to some folks, and but I still maintain that $5 price range for that because it takes a lot of time and effort, more so than putting together a regular $5 Firewood bundle, and a little bit less effort than making the kindling bundles. Don't mind this project, that'll be for a separate video. The yard's a mess and I am behind in life. It happens. Behind in life. What was I saying? So anyway, the point is I need to make new bundles. So that's what this episode is going to be about. It's just a refresh, showing you how I make my bundles, and that's what we're gonna do. So rock and roll. So right here is what I have that's already. I think this is fir or a mix of wood. Already split down small. I just need to cut to length. So let's pick this up and spin it around, and yeah. So I know there's channels out there that they do bundles, right? And I'm not special. And I think, and I don't, I mean, yeah, I sell firewood. That's obvious on the channel, but I don't, and I would like to sell more mini bundles, but I mean, to be frank, it's not a big seller. And I think I talked before about contacting the local hardware store, seeing if they're interested, because they do sell the mini solo mesa whatever tabletop stoves. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I keep saying that. I've saying that for months, but it is what it is. But so to my point was to that saying that is I could buck rounds into 5 inches and then split them with the Champion, or even use my 4-way attachment. I could do that. But since I don't sell a lot of mini bundles, it's just, as of right now, I don't want to have a section just, let's say, seasoning that's cut or just split bucked down to 5 inches for the mini bundle. So I'm just going to, when I have an order, or when I'm out, just to run through a bunch of rounds, or a bunch of split pieces into smaller pieces, kind of like kindling, and then use the chop saw right here, or miter saw, however you want to call it, measure and then cut a bunch of pieces and then go from there. So that's what we're going to do right now, because again, I don't have a lot of sales in money bundles. They're definitely a money maker, that's for sure, but not a top seller. So I'm not going to devote to bucking and splitting wood at 5 inches. I'm just going to do it maybe to cut wood after the fact, to take my 16 inch long pieces and split them down more so, and then to cut them. I think makes sense as of right now in my wood yard. If you have any more ideas, let me know down in the comments. But that's what we're going to be doing. So I'll get you set up and we'll get to cutting. Right. So I have the chop saw plugged in. That's power. Let it go up. And what we're going to do is oil that. Anyway, what I want to do is like mark a line on the top here of where 5 inches is. So like that. To measure out line. I had my marks there before, and I see 4 inches. I'm going to make 5 inches and just 5 inches. I'm not going to make 4 inches. I don't think the people buying them, no one who's bought them be like, whoa, I want only 4, I want only 5. Well, so I'm just going to make them 5, just a nice round number. I mean, I guess if you take 16 inches and divide by 4, that's a round number. 4 times 4 is 16, right? So as opposed to 16 divided by 5 inches would be 3 and change. So I guess I could, if I'm having a 16-inch piece, cutting them to 4, so I get 4 pieces out of 1. But what I don't want to do is, when I'm cutting this, having my hand, having it like if this was cut, right, and I have like an inch or so on one end to cut, I don't want to have the blade be closer to my hand. One piece of a mini bundle is not worth a finger, folks, right? So I guess you can do math in each piece, but maybe in these pieces I'll do 4 or 5. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, it's a lot easier. Either have a block here or some sort of like an edge, or just mark on the top your measurement, not to use a tape each time. So let's put on protection, and then I'm gonna just chop into these ones and make some mini bundles. Let's do it. So from that, this is the yield. This is more or less all the pieces that are at 5 inches. Now, when I split these pieces to prepare, I need to make sure that they're straight, not all wonky, not full of knots. That way they lay into each other and they stack together better to make a bundle. Like stuff like knots like this. This is not gonna mesh well in the bundle on that. And I mean, it could be safer, but just know what you're doing with the chop saw. Ear protection, eye protection, gloves, knee tube, whatever. Just be careful. Don't do what I do. Just do what I say type thing. But I can't think of an easier way to cut this wood besides what I said earlier about having to buck it up already at 5 and then split it. that I may do in the future, but for now I need to just make some bundles. So again, if it's straight, then you if the splits are straight and you're using a chop saw like this, you can put that flat straight edge on the fence and then chop. If there's no straight edge on the fence, you're on jeopardy of having it fling out when it hits the blade. So just be careful about that. So this is what I have. Not a lot. Definitely not a lot. I might split this one again, a few pieces again, but this will maybe yield maybe 3 bundles, and I need 4. So let's wrap these up, and we'll see how many I have, and then we'll go from there. Sound good to you? All right, let's do it. So if you watched my previous episodes on the mini bundles, I still have not figured out a jig, some sort of stand to set them in, so I'm able to use my wrapper. So for now, I'm still going by like a handful, whatever I can fit in my hand. More or less is going to be what we're going to be bundling. Whatever each bundle is not going to be perfect, be the same size. But so this is my handful right here, and I have to get the wrap ready to go. So I'm just gonna kind of use my finger and kind of hold on to it. Then I'm gonna go around the edge until it catches itself, and then I'm gonna hold it again like this, and then wrap a few times. Wrap it a few times like this, and we have our bundle. Not that too difficult. And that, here we go. Now, I want to ask some of you here, would you pay $5 for this? Or if you have a solo stove at home, one of those mini ones, or maybe another brand, maybe not, not solo, but a different brand. What do you use for your tabletop stove? What do you burn? What do you burn? One guy reached out to me on Marketplace to let me know that the solo stove, because I have a clip of when I did episode before, I have a clip of me burning wood, and I put that clip in the ad, right? And in that, because I don't know what I'm doing in terms of burning a solo stove. I own one, but I've never used it myself. I've just been borrowing it for the episode, right? Told me that the ring was upside down. Okay, so I need to flip it around. Thank you for letting me know. I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. The ring is upside down. Okay, I'll flip it next time. Great, thank you. But then I messaged him later on saying, hey, so I mean, I assume that because he knows the ring is that it should be flipped, that he owns the stove. So I said, hey, if you need any solo mini bundles, firewood, let me know. And he's like, well, I just burn branches of alder wood. Okay, great. So he doesn't buy anything. It doesn't use regular firewood, just burn branches. But branches are great. It's good firewood, but you're just having to break them in pieces, crack them, and put them in, and you're just having to constantly feed it. With the 3 pieces here, they're more substantial than branches. So, I mean, I guess you go that route. You could burn toothpicks or popsicle sticks, whatever you want to. But I just think that there is a market for many bundles out there. Is having to find buyers, right? I mean, to market the market, to make sure that you can find people who are willing to shell out the money to buy these bundles versus going in their backwoods or collecting sticks on the ground and then burning that. This seems kind of tedious, right? So anyway, I digress. So this is what I have left over that are at 5 inches. Not yet a fistful, not a handful. So we had to do some more splitting to get some 16 inches down to about yay size. And so let's bring it. How should we do this? Should we use the Timber Champ? Should we use the Split Quick that you just saw recently, or should I bring out the Kindling Cracker and use that? What do you think we should use? I think the Timber Champ will be faster. Should we do that? Let's do that. Even though you've seen it recently, and she was splitting up non-cedar pieces, but like a pro. But that was green wood. How does she do with seasoned wood? That's the question there. So, yeah, let's do that. Let me get a wheelbarrow full of some seasoned wood, and probably bundle wood because that's going to be more straight grained. And then we will split it down with the Timber Champ, and we'll come back to the chop saw, do some more cuts, and make some more bundles, and then we're done. We're done for the day. We're done. Rock and roll. Okay, let's do it. So we got the bundles, good to go. 4 and split, so easy peasy. So hope the guy comes and these are sold. So, and then I guess it's not that big a pain to do, just having to rinse repeat the same thing to make them. But I don't know, if you think of it as either way, let me know down in the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Until next time, life's short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Stay safe. Rock and roll, keep cutting. Cheers.